This is Bond Diesel with yet another video for you guys. This time we will be doing a quick build video focused on new or returning players who feel lost when they hit level 30 or what is the Division's end game. This is also going to be for people who maybe left the game before the 256 or a long time ago with 256, because at this point you're probably a little behind the curve. What we are going to do here is look at a bunch of gear you can buy right now around the various vendors in the game world. I want to be up front right now that I am no expert build technician, and that this is by no means an ideal build. I will present the gear, where it is, and my basic suggestions on how to make it better and somewhat balanced. I'll also be giving examples of better gear that you could use in these places that you may find from looting or from missions at the end of them and from caches and so on. My goal is to help players know what to look for when they get new gear. Everyone has their own playstyle, and the current lack of clear meta makes it hard for new or returning players to know what to look for with talents and attributes. The Division can be intimidating at first, but once you get a hang of it, you'll be fine. My goal is to help players know what to look for in new gear. Everyone has their own playstyle, and the lack of clear meta right now makes it hard for returning or new players know what to look for in talents and attributes with gear. A big issue with this game is that players are never really taught how to judge gear or work gear to help themselves, and some players seem to not even understand the concept of talents, attributes, and so on. Now that I am done rambling, we will jump into this build I have for you as an example or subject to pick apart and try to improve. First, we will start with the Vigorous overheal on all healing chest. You can pick up at DZ02. Obviously DZ funds and Phoenix credits aren't easy to come by, but I couldn't do a reasonable build without those items. The chest has a great armor roll, solid electronic roll, skill haste is amazing, and ammo capacity is great to have. I would roll off all resist and get health as high as possible, around 16,000. This is a very nice chest for someone starting out, though some people prefer a rapid healing skill cooldown increase, or even a reckless, more damage given, more damage taken chest. Next is the Rejuvenated, cleansing all status effects mask from the special equipment vendor. It has a nice armor roll, crit chance doesn't hurt, and damage to elites can help in PvE. I would roll the stamina stat to firearms. Ideally, you would have skill power instead of crit chance, for me at least, but this isn't a perfect build guide. I would prefer a refreshed, increased in healing on less health segment as a gear talent here for the mask. The Prosperous knee pads at Camp Hudson provide a decent armor roll, a mediocre electronic roll, and okay minor attributes. I would roll all resist to health as close to max as possible, which is 16,674. The Resourceful also heals skill objects backpack at the ward is okay, but I would almost always prefer a specialized, increases skill power based on firearm stamina backpack. It has low skill power, and I don't care for burn resist. I would roll the electronic roll as high as possible. Ideally you'd have ammo capacity here, but since you have it on your chest, you should be okay, and a better skill power roll or health roll as a major attribute would be preferred as well. The Savage Gloves, which increases your crit hit chance, and DZ08 are very nice beside their low armor roll. If you're going to accept a bad roll right now, armor is the stat to do it. With a nice crit chance, crit damage, and assault rifle damage roll on the attributes, these gloves are good for any build, and especially if you're using an M4 ACR or any other AR. I would roll the electronics to roll onto firearms and max that out as much as you can. Lastly, for gear, I suggest the Sturdy, increased armor and cover holster from the special equipment vendor. The Sturdy talent isn't super useful, and some prefer Nimble, which gives healing for cover to cover moves, or even Steadfast, which starts your healing faster in cover, but honestly it seems like few of these talents are even used at this point. Here we have a nearly perfect firearms roll missing by 1 point, a great stamina roll, and the electronic roll that you can easily max out. I would almost leave the electronic roll the same and re-roll the reload speed attribute and replace it with skill haste or crit chance. For gear mods, I suggest first making sure you're unlocking all of your weapon talents. Your guns and builds are pointless if you are not fully utilizing your weapon talents. I won't go over all of those weapon talents right now, but I will link a sheet down below describing them, and you can look up other videos by people such as Marco Styles that explain which weapon talents are best and which ones to use for yourself. I would also try to get your toughness as close to 300k as possible without wasting gear rolls on it. Gear mods with health do well here. For weapons, I picked the lightweight M4 at the Meat Locker Safe House and the AUG A3 at the Last Call Safe House. The M4 has a great enemy armor damage roll and is already set up well for PvE. If you want PvP, I would roll off Ferocious to your preferred talent. The AUG isn't bad and I would suggest rolling off Skilled. Honestly, I would never use pistols. You can use whatever you want if you think it looks cool, but if you can get one that has cool headed, you can use it situationally to help you get your skills back faster. I will let others or your own research tell you how to mod your guns. People tend to have their own preferences here. In the description of this video, I will leave links to various sheets and websites that can help you educate yourself on talents, attributes, and gear choices. It's worth noting that 1.8 is bringing more useful stamina rolls, but until then, it's basically a dead stat and shouldn't be rolled onto gear. The one situation where you would maybe roll onto one piece of gear stamina would be if you're trying to unlock a talent like Ferocious, but even then, I just don't really think it's worth it at this point. More than anything, I simply stress, read your gear. This is something I hear Matt Goes Buck repeat almost every time he streams The Division, and it will always be relevant. I am no expert on this game and doing amazing builds, but this is meant to be a guide for new or returning players to see the thought process that the average player should be taking when working on a build and deciding whether to keep, trash, or sell gear. I genuinely hope this guide helps at least one person enjoy the game more and not feel so helpless or confused. Once you get a hang of it and how the system works, you'll be fine. That's all I have for now. If you like what you saw, please share, subscribe, thumbs up, and comment below. Thank you for your time. This is Bond Diesel, and I will see you guys on the other side.